Project Management for the Masses podcast, episode 44. Today, I bring you my chat with LiquidPlanner CEO, Liz Pearce.
Project managers, have you ever felt like you should get that promotion or a better job? Start a business, write that book. Have you ever felt you were made for more but didn't know where to start?
Welcome to the PM for the Masses podcast with your host, Caesar Abaid.
Learn from the experts, think outside the box, have a voice, network, and be extraordinary.
PM for the Masses podcast.
Hey, hello everyone and welcome. This is Caesar Abaid, your host, and this show is your weekly reminder that your career matters more than your job, and that your life is a project and you are the manager. Whether you work for a company or for yourself, your job stability, as I always say, is really just your ability to land your next gig. So, join me in practicing intentional, planned, and value-adding and relevance, starting right now. There are so many project management applications out there that sometimes it is difficult to choose the right one for your project or for your portfolio of projects. So today I'd like to bring you a conversation that I had with the CEO of LiquidPlanner. And LiquidPlanner is a company that has created and developed a great project management application. So here's another one for your for your consideration. And besides being a great tool for project management, LiquidPlanner does a great job at actually engaging the project management community. They're very active on social media and with their blog. And as a result, not only are they adding value as a tool, but also they are adding value to the community of project managers in different ways. So they're doing a beautiful job. And because they understand project management and the project manager, I decided to invite LiquidPlanner CEO Liz Pearce to talk to us here today about project management, project managers, and their project management tool, LiquidPlanner. So let's get started.
Special guest coming up next. PMforthemasses.com. PMforthemasses.com.
Liz Pearce is an entrepreneurial leader who got ground-level marketing and product management experience at tech giants such as Amazon, Google, and Sony before making her way into the startup world. After rising from Director of Marketing to COO at LiquidPlanner and helping the company bootstrap its way to profitability, she took over as CEO in August of 2012. Since 2007, Liz has helped more than 1,500 project teams overcome scheduling and collaboration challenges through the use of best practices and better tools. Liz is an active member of the technology community and is always looking for opportunities to learn, participate, and give back. And Liz is on the line with me today from her office in Seattle, Washington. Hello, Liz. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks. How are you, Caesar?
I am doing really well. Thank you for being on the show.
Glad to be here.
I'm really happy to talk to you because I've been following LiquidPlanner for a while because I'm in the business of content marketing. I like to go and create a podcast. I write blog posts here and there, and LiquidPlanner does a great job in that realm. And it was because of that work that you guys do that I actually learned about the software. So it was the other way around. So
good.
And I recommend it. LiquidPlanner does some things that I don't think any other cloud-based project management system is doing out there. So. Let's talk about that for a second. So first of all, tell us a little bit about LiquidPlanner and how you guys help project managers and projects.
Sure. So we've been around since about 2007. We launched the product in 2008. And we were really trying to address what we saw as a fairly pervasive problem in the market, which is that we didn't feel that the existing tools worked the way teams really work today. And that is in a very fluid, highly interrupt-driven environment. And despite all those changes, teams still need to have a high level of predictability about when they can deliver their projects. And so our product is really a response to the way modern teams work. And the big difference from a tool like Microsoft Project, say, is that in LiquidPlanner, you actually get your schedule out of the tool versus putting your schedule into the tool. So our scheduling engine is calculating your expected completion dates based on the priority of the work that you're doing and your best case, worst case estimate for how long it's going to take. So we're looking at your resource availability, looking at your priorities, and looking at those estimates and calculating from that your likelihood of completion for a project by a certain date. So it really is kind of turning traditional project management on its head, but it's very flexible, it's very intuitive, and it's very responsive to change. So as your priorities change, which for most teams they do on a daily basis, sometimes on a minute-by-minute basis, your schedule automatically updates to reflect that. And that's really the biggest difference between our tool and other tools that you'll find on the market.
Mm-hmm. So you would say then the Gantt chart or the schedule is an output of the planning process rather than an input to it.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's how it should be, don't you think?
It should be. I mean, teams there are so many variables going into schedules these days. Not just a person's availability or how long a task will take, but what other projects are they working on? When will they get interrupted by something? What if the estimate on a task changes? What if they're suddenly called out of the office? All of those things, if you're working on multiple projects, have to be propagated through, multiple project plans in most systems. And we believe that they should be updated automatically across your whole portfolio when something changes. And so if you're using LiquidPlanner, you'll notice that you'll see a rescheduling message at the top. And that's because the system is looking at all those, those little variables that change and updating the schedule accordingly.
Okay, so it can be used as well to, it can use for managing portfolio. Is that what you're saying? So it manages the interactions between resources and projects and tasks and things like that.
Yeah, you have one view that contains all of your projects and tasks, and you can see how they relate to each other. And that's, I think, something that's really important for project managers these days, and for groups of project managers working together on a shared portfolio, because those projects are tied together by the people doing the work, and you can't look at them in a silo and really understand the context.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that LiquidPlanner is more of is a tool more that suited for waterfall type projects in which there's a sequence of from beginning to end, or more of an agile type of environment?
Most of our teams are using a hybrid of the two. For instance, you might have a really long software implementation project that may span a year, and you want to be able to divide that work out into phases and see how the work in each phase, whether you're capturing all the work that has to be done for each part of the project, but you might actually tackle the execution of it in more like sprints. And so we see teams that are doing both. Oftentimes when you have a team working on a big long waterfall project, they also have other tasks that come in. If they're in IT, for instance, they might have tickets that come in that have to be addressed, or an issue that has to be fixed with an existing system. So the methodology for managing all that work has to be inclusive of both the long-range waterfall-style projects and the short-term, more ad hoc or agile projects that come in. And so, by using priorities as the basis for the scheduling, you can do that effectively.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the sprint, idea, and also how does that affect estimates? Because we know that estimates are important, but if you are doing the short sprints, how does that reflect on the overall estimates that you are, basing a lot of decisions on?
Yeah, I think it's counterintuitive in a way, but I think that estimates are just as important, if not more important, in short sprints than in long. In a short sprint, you have a number of resources that are all working towards a near-term target date for delivery. And you have to understand how those resources are spread across the work that's in the sprint. And when everything is estimated and calculated, you can see what, who's the long pole, who is carrying the most load, when do things need to be rebalanced, what needs to be cut from the sprint. And in a short sprint, say a 1 to 4 week iteration, you need to be looking at that on a daily basis in order to meet the milestones in that period of time. And so we really want to make sure that everyone is estimating as they go and re-estimating as they go. And that's, I think that's really the key. In our system, most tasks over their lifetime have between 3 and 5 estimates, because you're doing a little bit of work, you're learning more, you have more information to inform how much work is left to go. And so it's that constant reevaluating of, can we accomplish in this period of time what we're setting out to accomplish?
Now let's talk about the project manager for a little bit. How has the role of the project manager changed over time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you and I probably can both remember days when the project manager just held the keys to the castle. I mean, you could not get information unless you got it from the project manager because they had the Microsoft project license, they had the most up-to-date version of the schedule, they had all the updates from people on the team. And so if you wanted a true picture or status update, you either asked them or waited to get it from them. And that's definitely no longer the case with the collaborative tools that we all have access to today. And so I think a lot of project management work that used to be the purview of the project manager has now been distributed to the team, and you have really a collaborative planning effort that goes on, which is great, I think, for the project manager because it gives them the ability to be more strategic, to work more closely with the project sponsors or the stakeholders of the project, and to do more facilitation of work across the project team versus, data entry, which they spent a lot of time doing, before these tools were popular. And, I think this really is about, kind of getting away from that command and control type structure to one that is, facilitation and support by a project manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been hearing this from a lot of people that this is what's happening, and it's catching a lot of us by surprise. We're having a hard enough time, catching up with soft skills. Moving from a technical. I talk about this on the show all the time. That we always a lot of the project managers, they get promoted out of a technical kind of engineering type of position, and now they have to manage people, and I see that this position is actually becoming more and more soft. Do you agree with that?
Totally. I mean, I think you talk about someone moving from a subject matter expert role in a technical area to having responsibility for the outcome of people's work, but not always having really authority over those people, right? They don't necessarily report to the project manager. They report to someone in their line of business. And so the project manager has to use influence rather than authority to get the results they want. And that's very nuanced, and you have to be very emotionally intelligent to get those outcomes and maintain, a positive working relationship with everyone on your team.
Mm-hmm. Now, Liz, I work for a very small company, and I have a lot of contacts, both because of my work and also because of the podcast. A lot of I network a lot in these solopreneur, small business type of circles.
Yeah.
And people are always asking, what is the best, collaboration project management tool? And I could mention a few names that are really popular out there, and you're going to recognize them for these tools. And then there's LiquidPlanner, which I think is a fantastic, very powerful tool. But there's a lot of that project management lingo involved in the learning curve. Would you agree with that? And if you do, or if you don't, how is LiquidPlanner bridging that gap to reach the smaller businesses and the solopreneurs, so they too can take advantage of all these wonderful tools that the project management, the discipline can offer?
Yeah. Well, I'll speak to that, I guess, in two ways. Number one, I think that there are a lot of different flavors of tools, and not every tool is right for every person. It really comes down to what are the pain points in your business? What are you trying to optimize around? And does the tool you're looking at, most closely align with that particular problem? We work really well for small businesses when they're highly resource constrained, and they're very intent on getting the most out of the team that they have. So if you have, for instance, a small agency where you're actually using billable hours to drive your business, and you want to make sure that you're maximizing billable hours in a given period of time and that you can forecast that really well, LiquidPlanner is a great tool for you because you get an instant sense of your capacity and your ability to take on new client work. If you're working on your own and you really want something lightweight that you can access from anywhere, but it's really just for you, and it's really a matter of what are the tasks that are on your plate. LiquidPlanner is probably too much for you. To speak to the first part of your question about getting up to speed with the project management lingo and things like that, we put a great deal of effort into educational resources on our site that can help people, even that have never had any kind of formal project management training, learn how to be a better project manager, learn how to use a tool effectively with their team. So we have a ton of videos. We offer free webinars every week. We have an extensive help guide article or help guide database that goes into a lot of detail and allows people to kind of learn at their own pace. But the feedback we get from customers is that the videos are a great way, just in a short amount of time, to learn a lot about not just the product, but how to set up your business processes to be successful in running projects. And so we're very committed to video as a way to educate people about both the industry and the platform.
Mm-hmm. Now, as I said at the beginning, I think you guys are doing a fantastic job with your blog and social media. Can you talk a little bit about that? What is the goal of such a large engagement that you have in social media and with the blog, trying to reach out to the project management industry? What is the thought process and how are you accomplishing it?
I think that there's a really great community around project management. You're obviously a part of that. There's many other names that, if you follow the industry, stand out. And they're all doing their part to contribute meaningful and helpful content to the community. And we want to be part of that. There are so many different issues that project managers and project team members confront on a daily basis, from, how to use estimation to do a better job, to the soft skills that you mentioned, to the financial control aspect of running projects. There's a lot to learn, a lot to think about, and a lot to optimize around. And we are ultimately in the business of making our customers successful, and so we want to provide as many resources as we can to further that goal. Mm-hmm.
And the blog and the social media engagement that you guys focus on is helping with that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's part of the big picture. And we've actually built a lot of relationships with people in the community who want to also be part of the blog and write guest posts and share their thoughts, because there's a lot of lessons learned that other people can benefit from. And I think for a lot of people there's some altruism in it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. Somebody listening right now would like to give LiquidPlanner a try. So what is maybe a tip that you can give them? Let's say they're using Microsoft Project, or they're not using anything right now, but they do have a team and they'd like to do better work. What would you have to say to them?
If they're looking to make a change in their business, be more responsive, be more flexible, and just deliver projects better, they should look at LiquidPlanner and, to be fair, some of the other tools that are out there, and find the one that's right for them. If you're looking at LiquidPlanner, you can start a free trial for 30 days, and we will work with you to help you understand the product and whether it works well with your kind of team and the kind of projects you're delivering. And we do that all for free. You can actually pick up the phone and call someone and get some help. So you can do that just on our website at liquidplanner.com. And that extends to determining if we're not the right tool for you. So it's really kind of a non-threatening, process where you can just go try it, kick the tires, and engage as much or as little as you want.
Very good. And I'm going to add links to LiquidPlanner and also to the video training. I think my audience will be really interested in that, learning more not only about LiquidPlanner, but also project management as well. There's always a desire to learn more there in the audience. So I appreciate it. I'm going to put the link to LiquidPlanner and to these resources on the show notes for today's episode. Now, Liz, if people want to learn more about you and about LiquidPlanner, besides the website, do you have any other links, any other resources that you can share?
Sure. So I have a blog at lizprc.com. Where I put some of my talks and presentations up. And, as you mentioned, the LiquidPlanner blog is a great place to go. Also, I'm pretty active on Twitter at LizPRC and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I'd love to connect with any of your listeners that want to engage in a discussion around project management.
Fantastic. Liz, thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for doing this podcast. It's a really great service for the community.
You are listening to the PM for the Masses podcast.
All right, you leave it to a CEO to be efficient and concise. I think this is probably the shortest interview I've ever done, and still, it was full of great information. Short and sweet, I love it. And because I believe in what LiquidPlanner is doing, as you can tell, I've become an affiliate of LiquidPlanner. So this means that if you use the link I'll give you right now, and end up, buying the product, I will make a commission if you purchase. So you don't have to use my link, but if you do, you'll be helping me. So if you'd like to try this for free, as Liz mentioned, you can go to pmforthemasses.com/liquidplanner. Okay, again, pmforthemasses.com/liquidplanner, all one word. And this will get you redirected to their website. So if you're running right now, at the gym or driving or working out, don't worry. Just head on over to pmforthemasses.com or pmforthemasses.com/44, which is the show notes for today's episode, and you will find this link there. So even if you're not in a position to try the software, I recommend you check out their website and blog. As I said, the work they're doing is really great. And again, you can go to pmforthemasses.com/liquidplanner to go to their website and see what they're doing. So that's it. That's what I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed episode 44 of the show. 44 sounds like a lot. And I hope that it has inspired you to perhaps try a new, more modern tool to help you manage your products. And I will speak to you again next week. And until then, remember that life is a project, and you, my friend, are the manager. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for listening to the PM for the Masses podcast.
Tune in next week for more great ideas on how to manage your projects better and truly stand out in your industry.
PMforthemasses.com